All right, guys, well, another year in the books. I'm super honored and appreciative to be able to run this trip. My first year running the boat. Kind of dealt a tough hand this year, you know, not very much sign on the way out. Had a stressed out captain, but the little fish that we did stop on, the couple opportunities we had, you guys took advantage of it. Of course, we always want to do better, but that's what keeps us coming back. You never know when it's going to be good or bad. So I'm just thankful for you guys. Thanks to James, Sue, Mike, and all you guys for just being so helpful, positive attitudes. It helps me be in a better mood up here. The crew appreciates you guys, and we hope to see you guys again soon and keep this tradition going.
Well, the one I got, the first one I got on a Mitch, the second one on a balanced leash.
So he tells you guys to do
you know,
it?
he's like kind of parallel to the.
I'm checking everybody's
and to see like that.
video.
You want my mom?
Okay, I was too tired.
I need one guy got 9.
Hey, just give me
the one that handed off the jackpot fish last year.
Just give me a 40-pounder.
So if there's somebody on the boat who isn't, please let a crew member know. If not, we'll be leaving here shortly. Hey Rocco, can you cruise up here real quick?
Like, make sure those crisscrosses dig into the line. And then I felt bad. The deckman, on the way home, we got hit.
All right, Marcy.
What up? Let's do this.
Oh, he hit my line. Oh, one more cast.
Fake.
What you guys cooking?
We're making a Euro plate for lunch. Making some tzatziki right now.
Welcome. Very excited to have you guys back. One of our favorite groups here. The tangles could get extreme, like very, very extreme. The reason is the boat's kind of spinning circles while we're drifting. When you get a little bit of wind, like I like when it's 10, 15 knots of wind, because you hook a fish and it kind of gets out and away, and everybody's lines are scoped away. Not everybody's, oh, what side do I drop on? It's like, I can't even tell. You know, there's no wind. I don't know. And so when we got guys fishing 360 around the boat and one fish goes underneath the boat, the tangles get really bad. Last trip we experienced it. The group of guys who we had are excellent fishermen. All of them are very, very good. Some of the best fishermen I know. And we couldn't help it. We were getting tangled. Every captain on the radio, oh, we hooked 15, we landed 1. You know, we hooked 10, we didn't land any. And it's because these tangles are so extreme. So what I like to say is you got your $100 tungsten jig, wind that thing up. If you feel like you're in a sticky situation, there's fish all around you, wind it up and get out of there. Very important. Another thing I noticed with this group especially, you guys are all very talented fishermen. With that being said, you horse these things in so quick. These are 100, 200 pound fish. I know they come straight to the boat. I've seen it. Oh, that took me 2 minutes. You know, 100, it's cool. But the big thing is what happens that I see 99% of the time, these big tangles, is because you horse them in so hard. And then when they see the boat, boom, they whip around. 15 lines you just picked up. Nobody's quick enough, not even us, to get that type of tangle out. These tuna are way too fast and they're way too strong to control them like that. So what I like to say, sometimes it's in your best favor to back off the drag a little bit. Take your time with these fish, you know, maybe enjoy the moment a little bit, you know. It's like, I get it, you guys could rope these things in. Randy, you especially, I see it. You get this look in your eyes, it's good and I love it, but be mindful that if you get in one of these gigantic tangles, it's not the guy's fish who brought him up in 2 minutes, and it's not the guy who is dropping right next to you. It's kind of both of you guys, and it's very easy to prevent by winding up and getting out of there. But I'll be honest, sometimes we can't prevent it, and it's just gonna happen. You're gonna lose spectra, you're gonna lose jigs. It's part of the game, you know? So just remember that, because we had a lot of guys getting frustrated last trip, and it sucks. It's like Q always told me, he's like, man, you know, sometimes it's a curse when the fishing's that good. He's like, people end up getting more frustrated when the fishing's so good because little things happen, and then you'll have a trip where you catch one fish and everybody's like, yeah, you know, we got one. It's like that type of thing. So just remember, all it takes is one school where the whole trip could change. We might drive around for 2 days. I don't know. I'm hoping that's not the case, but it's possible. And so with that being said, if we do stop on a school, you guys got to be prepared. It's marking your line every 100 feet. The boat's 90 feet long. You put your jig back there, you walk it to the front, add 10 feet, take one of these Sharpies over here, mark it 4 times to 400 feet. Generally, they swim through at about 240 to 360 feet, sometimes a little deeper, sometimes a little shallower. But the thing is, another thing is just being prepared by having your jig straight up and down. I did notice these smaller jigs are working a lot better than those big 400-500 gram jigs. So I would probably start with that, maybe a 250, 350 range. Those tungsten jigs kind of work too. But I know you guys got all sorts of jigs on here, so I trust whatever you guys tie on. But just, yeah, be patient. Hopefully we are sawing each other off and getting tangled, because that means we're getting them. And I know it's not the most fun all the time, but it's part of the game, and it's what keeps us coming back. And last trip, obviously you guys saw the offload. It was a great trip, but that was a mixture of about 4 stops where we got pretty lucky. Other boats weren't as fortunate as us, but either way, the crew's gonna work as hard as they could to try and get you guys as much fish as we could. And I'll be working as hard as I could, so I hope you guys do the same. One more thing, when I stop the boat's still sliding forward. What I like to do is go towards the bow, cast off the bow, and then walk down the side of the house. You just gotta make sure you don't get scoped out in a way, which I know a lot of you guys know. Another thing is also teamwork. It kind of goes a long way. Talk to your neighbor. If maybe you think he's not in the right spot or he's not following his line, say, hey, you know, James, you got to go that way, or you got to go this way. I'm coming over. I'm coming under. And we're going to do a little bit more in-depth tackle seminar. And all that. I always get excited to have you guys on the boat, because what was it, like 2-3 years ago? What are these little rods doing, you know? Like, man, I don't know if that's going to work. And then sure enough, just everybody's got one on, and you guys are just roping these things in. Some of the most talented fishermen I've ever seen. It's pretty cool to be able to run this trip. I haven't been able to do that. So I'm grateful for you guys, and I hope I give you guys an opportunity. No guarantees, but I'm going to try my hardest. And that's about all I got for you guys. So maybe like 15 minutes, Rocco come down. Thanks, guys.
Another edition of the West Coast Jiggers here on the American Angler. I'm going to start off here by introducing the crew. For those of you that have not fished with me, I am Rocco.
I'm John. I'm Ulysses.
These are 3 new guys we have. They're badass, so feel free to break them in. No, they're great guys. We're going to be your deck crew for the next 2 days. In the galley, we have Raul and Javier. There's no wind, especially at night. We have really nice weather, so it's going to be a communication game amongst yourselves and us. We will do our best as possible as we can to let you guys know what side of the boat we're going to be on. But sometimes it's just, you're going to have to slowly go off your jigs. You know, if your jigs start going under the boat, you know you're on the wrong side of the boat, you know. Unless you can cast, say 30, 40, 50 feet at least, then you can fish on the downwind side of the boat. It's actually a very effective way to get your jig in that 240 to 360 feet by casting down swell. By the time, a lot of times you're straight up and down, you're in that ballpark range rather than just letting it off the windy side. And when you're drifting real fast, sometimes you have no choice, no matter how heavy the jig is, you're way scoped out and it just makes it for harder time. So if you can cast one of the corners or the bow or even somewhere midship, you can make a nice cast down swell. The most importantly is you just follow your lines, guys, okay? Follow your lines. Any questions so far on number tags, drift style fishing? No, we're all good? Okay. We're gonna go straight into tackle, guys. We're gonna make now game time setup, the go-to of the trip. This jig's kind of big. It's like what we've been using. But this is my 100-pound outfit minimum. And on our spools, what we like to do is have mark spectra. So on our rods, every color is 100 feet. And right away that tells you is like, I'm gonna know exactly where I'm at in the water column. And I feel like that's a huge thing with jigging. A lot of guys are either, they're not deep enough or they're too deep. So having your spectra marked some kind of like, even if it's up to 300 feet, at least you know more or less. If you don't have any marked spectra, you can grab one of us. We take you up to the bow. We'll cut your jig off. We'll take your line straight off to the corner. You make a mark up there on the spectra, and then when that you let that line go. When that line comes to the person in the stern, you make another mark on that spool so you know at least, okay, I have 90 feet. You make 3 or 4 of those, you already know you're gonna be in that ballpark range. These fish, these bigger ones have been living in that 240 to 360 feet. And when they bite, it seems like they pretty much bite everything. I mean, you guys today, this trip, we're not gonna have much weather. This is what we have been having to use. 420 gram jigs, 400s, 500s because of weather, but that's not gonna be an issue this trip. So if you got speedies, KBs, all your 180s, 150s, try it all. Throw your arsenal at them. That's just where you become fishy as an angler, you know. Try everything. Try different cadences on your pumps. Try, you know, different depths. Try pressure on your spool when you're sinking it. Get that jig to flutter different. That's where you become fishy as an angler. Ask questions, you know. Someone's on fire and it's like, dude, you can't do nothing wrong. I'm gonna go up straight up to them and I'm gonna pick their brain. I'm gonna ask them, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing different? How are you pumping it? You know, are you fast retrieving it? Are you pumping it fast? Are you know, just talk to each other because communication goes a long way even at the rail here, guys. And I promise you, we have our work cut out for us. If we do get into a bite with this no wind situation, I've seen the best of the best anglers in the worst tangles. So I don't care who you are, you think, oh, no, I'm good. I promise you, it gets tough when there's no wind. And a lot of ways is to eliminate that is communication. That goes a long way. First things first, if I find myself between 2 fish, I'm gonna take my $90 jig that I worked hard to pay for, and I'm winding up as fast as I can. And I'm going somewhere else. I'm not even gonna waste my time. I'm not even gonna fight. You're gonna fight yourself because what's gonna happen is as those big fish get closer, the circles are gonna get bigger and they're gonna gain speed. And if you got someone like Randy, someone like James, absolutely just putting the wood to these fish, a lot of times as you get them to color and they finally turn their nose, or they get lucky and turn their nose, and they'll run down the side and wrap everybody. So if you're not on your toes as a communication, as an angler, helping us help you guys, we're gonna be in tangles, you know, and it's gonna happen regardless. So just all I'm gonna say is be patient. You know, if we ask for your rod, do not hesitate. We know all you guys know how to fish. We know what you're doing, but just let us do our job. You know, we would never go to your guys' job and tell you what to do. Just let us do your job. Trust me, we want to land the fish just as much as you guys. So just communication at the rail. No kind of angle. You see any kind of angle in your line, straight under the boat and all that, and you want to stay there and jig, you find yourself in a tangle later, that is completely on you. You pretty much started that tangle, you know, you were the guy. Don't be that guy. Wind up. I know it might, I understand, it's like everyone gets tunnel vision, they're biting, you hear biter, biter. It's like, oh, I'm gonna stay right here, but really have an angle on my line and there's 2 fish going in that corner. Just wind up, eliminate that. I guarantee you, you're gonna be way better off dropping somewhere else, completely away from another fish. When you hook that fish, you're gonna be stoked, like, hell yeah, I'm glad I made that move. So with the jigs, guys, like I said, it all comes down to you as an angler, you know, on how you want to drop it. A lot of guys bomb it down, let it go down, you control your spool. What it does is different pressure on your spool, guys, at certain depths, it creates different flutters for your jigs. So just try and just as best as you can as an angler, just get fishy with it, you know? And when I get bit on these, same thing. I'm gonna say I get bit on the sink and it feels like I hit bottom, that's exactly what it's gonna feel like, where you're not gonna hit bottom out here. So if your line goes slack, put it in gear as fast as you can and wind. I'm gonna wind until that line comes tight. Same thing, once that drag starts getting ripped out, then I can go to my comfortable position. But if you do fight your fish in the gut, guys, you don't wanna stay there. And what I mean by that is anytime you move up and down the rail, or we tell you, you see an angle on your line, you don't wanna try and move in this position. You know, if I have to go over Josh and he's like 6'4", 6'5", and I have to lift my rod up when it's loaded with the fish on, it's just, it's not gonna happen, it's tough, you know? You're gonna hit everybody in the head. Or if I simply take the rod out of my gut, put my hand on the back of the rod of the butt, look how much more mobile I am already, you know? Or simply under your arm. Automatically, anytime any one of us say, move up the rail or down the rail, automatically it's clicking in my head, under my arm. We'll tell you, you'll hear us telling you guys, under your arm, under your arm, under your arm. And just simple ways like that, guys, working together, being patient, keep your head in the game. I understand if it's not going your way, it's very easy to get frustrated. You lose fish, it's very easy to get frustrated. But all that does is brings down the morale of everybody around you, and everybody starts snowballing next to you. And next thing you know, one tangle leads into another. And let's just eliminate that. Keep it positive, keep your head in the game. You know, if you gotta take a break, go take a break. You know, grab a beer or something, or read a page out of your book, grab something to eat, but just get away from what you're doing if you find yourself, you know, in that position. And then come back to it. And I promise you, a lot of times it'll be like, I'm glad I took that break, you know.
Just want to thank everyone for signing up for this trip this year, and I'm super excited to finally be on. I missed out on last year's trip, but yeah, we got a good group of guys, and we're just here to all have fun. For everyone on the trip, I got you guys a jig, so everyone's gonna get one of our jigs. And then we have some raffle giveaways. We have a rod, as well as a jackpot rod for whoever catches the biggest fish. So they're gonna go home with a custom rod. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We'll pick numbers. You guys can choose from t-shirts by Cello Fisher. He designed some really cool shirts. We have some West Coast Jiggers hats, as well as some jig wraps. And then here's some tungsten jigs that from Major Craft. So these are gonna be the options to choose from. And then we have some jig bags. All right, so Major Craft, this is one of their jigging rods that they release for tuna, for jigging for tuna. And this one right here, we'll go ahead and raffle this one off first. One number.
24.
Yes, sir. There you go.
Never wins.
Cool. We got a white.
Hold on. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
The Aztec. This stick, okay, on the way.
Vulture!
Potatoes and some baby carrots with some creamy spinach caper sauce. Yeah. Baby carrots, they're fucking baby.